from My Half Acre Homestead here. I'm getting a lot of comments from my tips of the day, and a lot of questions about goats and stuff. You know, I've talked to a few farmers. One fellow was 90 some years old. He gave me some really great information. For instance, if the power goes out and you have chicks in a brooder, like day-old chicks or 2-day-old chicks or 3-day-old chicks, and you have no way of keeping them warm, bring them in the house. If they get too cold, they'll huddle up together and they'll smother each other if they don't die, right, from the cold. And this is really cool. You take a clean, brand new string mop. So if you hang the mop, the clean string, cotton string mop, in the brooder, about an inch off the floor, less than 3/4 of an inch, just a little bit off the floor, apparently the chicks will snuggle in amongst the cotton strings. The strings will keep them separate enough that they don't smother each other. The strings will also allow air circulation, but they'll stay warm. Isn't that amazing? A cotton mop. Who would have thought it, to save chicks if the power goes out? Oh, and another good tip. Goats are really funny. They're escape artists. They also will eat almost anything, okay? But some things they eat are not good for them, like grain. Grain, giving your goat a certain amount of grain is fine. I actually feed mine it's kind of like a scratch grain with molasses coating. It's got mostly oats in it, a little bit of corn, but it's mostly oats and it's coated with molasses and vitamins. But they get hay. They are a browsing animal, though. They will eat anything at eye level. One day, my goats got out of their pen, okay, and he lifted the lid off the feed bin, because it's a Rubbermaid garbage can, and pigged out on grain. Now what this causes, this can actually kill a goat. This causes bloat to the point where they look like they're carrying quadruplets or something. Now, bloat can kill a goat because they don't, I don't know what goes on. It causes too much gas, too fast, whatever the case may be. I'm not an expert. But I tell you, a lady in Merrickville, Ontario, who raises goats, she told me a couple of really wonderful tips for saving yourself some vet bills on goats. If your goats get bloat, give them pop or soda pop. She said give them a can of Pepsi. Or I guess ginger ale would work as well, probably even better. But our goats got into the grain, and I had to phone my husband at work and said, these things are gonna explode. Grab a couple of cans of Pepsi on your way home and we'll try it. And he kind of wrestled them and opened their mouths, and I force-fed them a can of Pepsi each, and they immediately started to burp. By the next morning, they were back down to their normal size. Good thing to know. And another thing is diarrhea in goats. Diarrhea in goats can be really, really a problem too, especially babies. If they get diarrhea, get yourself a nice big 2-ounce syringe, fill it full of Pepto-Bismol, not the kind with a needle on the end, but a drenching syringe. Pepto-Bismol, folks, works for diarrhea unless it's like a really bad parasitic problem. Another thing is I didn't have any worm medicine, and my little newborn goats didn't seem to be thriving as well as they should be, and I thought, someone said they may have intestinal parasites. So I took a couple of cloves of garlic and I crushed them. I put them in a jelly jar and I poured boiling water over them, and I steeped that until it cooled down. I strained it, put it in a syringe, and I gave it to the baby goats. Now, whether or not they had intestinal parasites is beyond me, but whatever that was in the garlic, they started filling out and they're happy as clams. So, just a few things. I don't know, all I know is I tried the Pepsi, it works. I tried the Pepto-Bismol, it works. I tried the garlic tea, it works. I've never had to try, thank God, I've never had to try the mop with the chicks. But hey, these are you know, tried and true things from farmers. Anyway, this is Bev from My Half Acre Homestead saying if you don't have to spend the money on the vet bill, it's a great thing. Have a great day.